Hello everyone, I'm making this advanced tutorial to explain the basic functions and other actions that can be performed in Microsoft Excel 2016. The content of the video are as follows. Explaining spreadsheets and spreadsheets terminology. Basically, I'll be walking you through navigating around spreadsheets, learning basic terminology, and understanding spreadsheets. Next, I'll be giving For the description of functions, I'll be showing you a list of basic functions that are very useful, and I'll be describing how and where they are used. Next, I'll be demonstrating how to use these functions to further enforce understanding. Lastly, I will be showing you how to draw graphs, as this is a very essential skill that will be used in Excel. The best part about this advanced tutorial is that no experience is required. Everything will be taught from scratch in order to improve your Excel skills. Now I'll be helping you navigate and walking through the basics of Excel. So this is called a workbook, and this is called a sheet. You can have multiple sheets, and you can rename them. You can rename sheets, and you can color code them by clicking on tab color. Okay, now going back to sheet 1. These are called cells. Excel already defines cells for you on top here, but it defines it in this manner. So for example here, this cell is in the H column and in the second row. Therefore, it's called H2. Furthermore, you can search for cells yourself. So if I wanted to go to E5, it will take me directly to E5. Further, this is called a function bar. You can go to formulas and insert the function yourself. And Excel will give you a whole list of all the functions. But if you know the function, you can go to the function bar and write, and every function starts with an equal sign. And for example, if I wanted to know the sum of cells B6 to B10 equals sum B6 to B10. And I press enter, and it would give me the sum, which is 172. And the top bars are pretty self-explanatory. You can go to the insert bar, insert tables, pictures, shapes, and screenshots. You can go to the page layout, change the orientation, the margins, or the size. The formulas bar, you can auto sum, you can define names, calculate, the data will help you sort data, filter, advance, and format, and the rest are pretty self-explanatory. The first feature that will be covered is the functions of Microsoft Excel. A function is an expression which calculates or searches for a cell. Functions are predefined and are easily available for everyone in Excel. Functions aid in doing tedious and complicated tasks. Let's get started by listing all the main functions in Excel and what they do and why they're useful. So now I'm going to talk about the functions. Firstly, sum. The sum function calculates the sum of the selected cells. This is very useful as it can calculate large numbers in a very short time. Next, average. The average function calculates the average of the selected cells. This again is useful because it can quickly calculate the average of large groups of numbers even faster than a calculator. Thirdly, Max. The max function calculates the maximum of a selected group of cells. This prevents people from having to look through large numbers just to find the maximum. Next, min. The min function is like the max function, but it performs the opposite task. The min function calculates the minimum of a selected group of cells. This prevents people from having to look through large numbers just to find the minimum this time. Next, count. The count function counts the number of numerical values on a spreadsheet. Therefore, any cells that contain text or a combination of numbers and text will be ignored. Next, the countif. The countif function in Excel is very useful. It is used for counting cells within a specified range that meet a criteria and/or condition. Next, HLOOKUP. HLOOKUP performs a horizontal search for data. It is used when you want to compare and search for data that is in one row. VLOOKUP is very similar to HLOOKUP, but it performs a vertical search for data and is used when you want to compare and search for data that is in one column. Now that we know what each function does and how it is useful, I will demonstrate how to do it, and this will further help you understand how each function works. The function that we will be talking about today is the sum function. For example, if I want to find the sum of the numbers from B6 to B12, I will write in the function bar equals sum B6 B12, and I'll write enter. I'll get the value 215. Next, now we'll be talking about average. So if I want to find the average of the numbers from B12 to B13, I will write equals average B11, B12, B11, B13, and I get 18.333. Next, we'll be discussing the max function. The max function finds the maximum value in the set numbers, in the set cells. So I want to find the maximum, the max from cells B17 to B36. And I get it as 1067, which is right here. Next, we'll be discussing the min function. Same, now I'll be writing equals min and B17 to B36, and I get 100, which is the minimum out of all of them. Next function we'll be exploring is the count function. The count function counts the number of numerical values in the selected number of cells. So, to start off, we have to obviously write equal, then count, and the range would be from A1 to B13. A1 to B13. And we should get 12 numbers because they're 12 months. So that's correct. But we can try it out here as well. And we can write equals count A16 to B36. And we get 20 numbers. The next function that we'll be exploring is the COUNTIF function. The COUNTIF function is used for counting cells within a specified range. Now, to see how many people have the name James, write COUNTIF, open parentheses, A6, write the range first to B36, comma, James, close parentheses. And now we can see that the name James appears 4 times in the range A16 to B36. Now, to see how many times the number 100 appears, we write equals COUNTIF, write the range A16 to B36, comma, 100, close parentheses. 100 appears 5 times. The next function we're going to be exploring is HLOOKUP. The HLOOKUP performs a horizontal search for data. It is used when you want to compare and search for data that is in one row. If I want to find the quantity in stock and the price in Singapore dollars for a product, I will go to quantity in stock and write equals HLOOKUP, open parentheses, the lookup value, which is where it is going to be, so C3, comma, table array, so the range, and you just have to drag it across the range, and the row, the row index number, which is where it is from the horizontal point of view. So the quantity in stock is second, so I'll write 2, and then I'll write false. So in the last number, in the last number, you can either write true or false. True would give you an exact value of the product, and false would give the most resemblant to it. So I'm gonna write false. I'm gonna press enter. Right now it's NA because I haven't entered any product yet. Then I'm gonna do the similar thing for the HLOOKUP. Then C3, table array. Only this time I'm going to write 3 because it's third this time, and false. Now I'm going to enter in product. Let's do iPhone 7, and it gives us 140 and 700. Let's try it for another product. For example, Apple Watch. And it gives us 50 and 500. To the HLOOKUP, but instead of doing a horizontal search, it does a vertical search. So if I want the values for quantity of stock for a product, I'll do VLOOKUP in parentheses C13 as a lookup value, the table array, 2 as an index number because it's second, and then false because I'm exact name. Then price is very similar. VLOOKUP, open parentheses, C13, table array is going to be the same. 2, from is 3, and false. There we go. Now, product and iPad, and it gives us the values. Let's take another example. Let's take a Apple Watch, and it gives us the values again. Part that we'll be covering are graphs, how to draw graphs. So the first part to drawing graphs is selecting your data. So just select your data and go to insert. Then choose the type of graph that you want. So in case that we want a line graph, choose that and Excel will draw the graph for us. Now we can change how we want the graph by simply selecting different options, or formatting the graph to how we want. We can have it in 3D or if we want, and we can change the design of the graph right here. And we can change the axis labels here. We can change the line here. We can add axis labels if we want, and we can add elements such as axis titles or trend lines right here, which we don't have a trend line, but we can add one. We can add up and down bars, or we could change the type of graph right now in case we want it in case we want a bar graph. We can simply change chart type. To conclude, we learned about the sum function, the average function, the max, the min, count, countif, HLOOKUP, and VLOOKUP. We also learned about how to draw graphs and how to edit them if needed. Hope you had a fruitful time learning about Excel.